Last 51 Brook to 60 Root.
How about that? This has just gone from excellent to par excellent and beyond. Joe Root, 255, striking at a 90 plus. He gives himself room. He picks up another 4.
Well, he's had the bulk of the strike since lunch. It's all been Harry Brook. That's why he's catching up. Joe Root now going into one-day mode, just feeling that hip. That's 3 times since lunch. He's just felt that hip.
Because of that short ball and the shot played, a man's dropped back. A very fine third. He goes full. Excellent running. And they might just pick up 2. The fielder backing up, doesn't clean up cleanly.
Fitness is unbelievable from these two. Unbelievable. No lazy running. I've not seen one where they've jogged. They run the first one hard. They see the overthrow and they could have easily said, you know what, not today. We've done our job, and they go again. Utterly brilliant with the fitness.
$699 for 3. England lead by 143. They have 699 on the board. 450 between Root and Brook.
Root, this is your moment. 699. I don't think you'll ever get an opportunity to call 700 again.
Let me do it the first time then. England take along the scoreboard and they bring up 700. It is 700 for 3 now, England. It's been absolutely brilliant.
We won't do it again until the second test match in Multan.
Well, at least this time the turnaround time will be quicker. The only one time 700 or plus runs have been scored in Pakistan in Test cricket. Well, back in 2009, Pakistan scored them. 765. Nasser Hussain reckons the third time will be fairly quickly.
Well, they'll have to do something different. It's madness if you keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. Pitches are flat. Pakistan have to do something about their pitches. Have to do something quickly.
Well, just on that, Baz, the point that you make, you and I were there, we covered the Bangladesh series, and completely echo what you're trying to say. That second test match surface was far better, more conducive to Test cricket. Mehdi Hasan Miraz picked up 5 in that first innings.
I think in the second innings, the wickets were taken by fast bowlers only. And that was a far better pitch than the first test match. Now, this will be Tony's second test match in Multan, the next one coming up. And remember, he's just been here for a little while, so he's also learning about the pitches. So that might just be one area that he might improve. 703 for 3.
Well, if you just turned on your television screens, turn them off. Especially if you're Pakistan, you probably must be scratching your head. Not at the fact that, well, maybe at the fact that England also have 703 for 3, but the rate at which they've gotten their runs. Oh, big shout, fairly close and given. That's as good as it gets, and it does bring Joe Root's magnificent 262 to an end. We witness absolute speciality here.
Yeah, he walked. He didn't wait for the decision, and that is really nice to see. Every single Pakistan player has walked up to Joe Root and shook his hand. That is lovely to see. One of the great innings played by an Englishman. As he walks off the field, a career best beaten against Pakistan. He goes to his top score and he walks off the field finally to put his feet up. Brilliant, brilliant from Joe Root. Exhausted, he walks off. 262 in 374 deliveries. England 703 for 3.
Jamie Smith will now take the field after 136 overs of batting masterclass from England's top order. A fantastic start to his test career as well. Had a fantastic English summer, 350s and the 100 just in the 7 games. 48.7 the average, a very healthy average to start off. Salman Ali Agha eventually managing to break that partnership and pick up Joe Root. You talk about the requisites of Test cricket at this career in conditions. It might be a very good batting track, but to bat for the length of time. Wow. That is special. Special from Smith to get off the mark.
Yeah, and he's got license, hasn't he? Absolutely been given license. He's in England's white ball side now, 50 over side. He's a real talent and immediately imposes himself on Pakistan.
Lead also now surpassing 150, 152 now.
Yeah, he's not a dissimilar player of spin to the lad at the other end, Harry Brook. Here is the wicket of Joe Root. Absolutely plump, and he just walked off. He did not even look up at the umpire. Middle of middle.
Yeah, just closing out on Joe Root. 262 is what he got. 194 of those runs by running between the wickets. Only 68 of them, the 11 fours that came, 17 fours, beg your pardon. That is a testament to the fitness, to the resilience and the mental strength of a class act. 709 for 4. Beautiful pictures Beautiful pictures that will be played for a very, very long time to come. Joe Root, best in the business, walks off as the gallery applauds. 262, his highest score in Test cricket.
I was saying about Jamie Smith and the way he picks up length. He's a very similar player to Harry Brook. He comes all the way forward, and then off the spinner he loves a pull shot, and off the seamers actually. But Shah Massoud immediately, he'd have seen Jamie Smith in England, immediately getting that man at deep mid-wicket straighter, because he knows Smith loves the pull off the spinner. Does belt it a long way though.
Yeah, also putting a slip in for him. Sweeper on the offside also goes square.
He waited 87 overs with his pads on in the dressing room. 87!
That is a nightmare, isn't it? That your worst case scenario, that is, on a personal level. Always feel after the Lord Mayor's show when you get out there.
That'd be a prized collector's item. Number 66. Well, England's highest test score. This is now number 3 versus Pakistan. 7-14 for 4. And still out there. 7-1-4 for 4.
Down the pitch, lifts it beautifully for 6. Such a big shot. Only 1-6 before this one. In a score of 720, that's got to be some kind of a record as well, since it's been a milestone fest test match.
I was wondering not so long ago if Harry Brook was running out of petrol to be able to play some big shots, but that's disproved it. That was immense.
Catch it!
That's not what you're after when you're trying to keep the spirits up in the field, having been put under immense pressure. And that's what happens when you're under pressure and you're in this heat.
Well, he's really on the charge now, Harry Brook. He has accelerated in dramatic fashion after lunch. He's now to 272, eyeing that triple hundred. England are to 722. Hit this ferociously hard.
Incredible power from that bottom hand, and he picks length so quickly. One of the main features of his batting is how he picks length, and then how quickly and how hard he puts it away. Pakistan staring in the face of conceding 800.
Played the offside field, he's played the leg side field. Whilst your technique may not have been challenged on a surface like this, but it's the other part of the deal. Concentration level, the fitness level, your absolute necessity to score big.
Well, that fitness level was in evidence there, running too quickly.
$7.29 for 4.
He's 279, Harry Brook. So Root made 262. It was a tired looking shot. I wonder maybe if he saw 3 or 4 balls coming down at him, such was the delirium he might be facing given the heat.
Gave himself out, leg before, walked off straight away.
All the shots are coming out now as Brook scoops one over Mohammad Rizwan's head.
What do you practice now? Can I call?
Brook now owns England's highest individual score against Pakistan.
Well, Harry Brook has just been leaning on his bat, taking it out of him.
Well, it's a good point you make, because he has talked at length about improving his fitness in the last year, hasn't he? He's visibly slimmer, trimmer than he was when he first came into the England side. He's really worked hard at his fitness and his nutrition, and all that is paying off here now in the heat and dust of Multan. Just about stretches for the line. It was an almost reluctant stretch from Harry Brook, but that instinct for self-preservation overtook the tiredness.
Maybe one overstretch too many and the hamstring will go ping, or the cramp will come in. But yeah, he had time away from the game, didn't he, for personal reasons, and he used that opportunity to get fit. He's certainly done that.
Jamie Smith, always the man for a crisis. In at 730 or so for 4, he's going to start enjoying himself now. What a gorgeous strike down the ground.
Yes, whilst you want to admire this great 6, but the fact remains that Pakistan have been reactive rather than preemptive as a bowling unit. So there's no kind of street smartness regarding where to bowl, what the batter is trying to do. It's just that it's the batting and the batsmen were making sure that they get the job done. That's gone. Oh no, it's not. It's Saud Shakil. My. Over to you, Athas.
Well, it's just a sign of a completely demoralised Pakistan side. 2 absolute dollies have gone down today. One earlier in the day when Babar Azam put down Joe Root, and now Saud Shakil. You can't get 2 more straightforward catches than we've seen put down today. So they're utterly demoralised, physically exhausted, as England go to 742 for 4.
Well, you can put the physicality and the tiredness mentally because of the conditions down to this drop. We can't do that to the first one off Barber. It was early on in the day. No rhyme or reason why a professional cricketer at test level would drop those. We all do it, but those are two bad drops.
Remarkable looking scorecard, not least for Ollie Pope. 742 for 4.
Pope stands out as well with a knot.
And I think when England got 900, Len Hutton's record innings in 1938 against Australia at the Oval, famous groundsman called Bossa Martin, I think, and he had this enormous roller, giant roller, was called Bossa's Pet, and he stood proudly beside it after that record score, as he was so proud that he produced the flattest pitch of all time. I'm not sure that the groundsman here in Multan, well, he might go down in infamy, but he won't be celebrating this surface.
Whose pet is that then, huh?
It's a wonderful photo. You could find it on, if you flick around on the internet. Boss's Pet. 1938 pitch at the Oval. Just rolled and rolled and rolled it, and rolled the bowlers into submission. As Brook comes down the pitch, it's an extravagant and extraordinary shot over long off. Say what you like about the pitch and the bowling and the drop catches, but this is an exhibition of quite extraordinary batting from Yorkshire's Harry Brook.
Yeah, I mean, it's not nice. Naseem Shah has been premier bowler for Pakistan over the years, and it's embarrassing to a certain degree. But he has to bowl. He's got to somehow make sure that he remains engaged and his reputation doesn't end up in tatters.
Brook is down at the non-striker's end. He was looking for a second. He was keen to come back and then just slipped at the non-striker's end, and he's so weary he might have felt like staying on the ground for a moment, but he's back up on his feet. You can see the sweat glistening on his forearms. He must be close to exhaustion now, but that 300 will be keeping him going. He's just 9 away now from a triple hundred.
No change of pace, no bounces. Pakistan have been rather one-dimensional. Even when they're looking to defend, they've really not been able to chalk out a proper strategy. Singles, twos, boundaries galore. Pretty listless stuff on a listless pitch. Yeah, solar energy in Virix. Great facility for the fans to charge their mobile phones. Plenty of solar energy, natural solar energy here in Multan. Sun beaming down, it's hot afternoon. Bowling on such a surface, I'm just wondering whether it would make Pakistan fast bowling attack a bit more rugged, a bit more determined, because you learn a great deal by bowling on such surfaces. It's been a harsh lesson taught by England. Another pull shot played well all along the ground. Herrera has worked extremely hard, minding the fence on the leg side. That's a good return as well. 7:51 for 4.
The lead is 195. England will be eyeing a declaration at some point towards tea time. But first of all, Harry Brook is 9 runs away from a triple hundred. And he's unveiling all the shots now. Of course, he's a multi-format player of Test cricket, 50 over cricket and T20 cricket. So after lunch, we've seen Harry Brook in T20 mode. Expansive, extravagant, and unstoppable at the moment.
It might be that he sees 300 in his sights, or he sees the finishing line where he can get off for a little bit, but he's been injected with some energy and some vigour, and he's unveiled some extraordinary shots in a short space of time. Truly has a remarkable ability to hit all around the ground with such power, but he's clever too. Capable of playing those deft little shots.
Oh yeah, that's nice. No, you got it.
I think he's naturally built for subcontinent domination because he uses his wrist so well. Then he uses his feet, inside out drive, front foot player, plays the pull shot well as well. Then he can expand his range with improvisation. That cover drive had a bit of wristy work attached to it.
Swept and fine by Jamie Smith. Just wonder, thinking about the declaration, the potential for Harry Brook's triple hundred, whether then England would think about giving him time to get past Len Hutton, or whether they would just pull out sooner rather than later. Clubbed down the ground for a single by Jamie Smith. 7-5-9 for 4.
Brave captain to pull out on someone when they're approaching a milestone, Michael.
That's steady. He wouldn't need long though if he was still going. Len Hutton's milestone record that has stood since late 1930s would be in sight in quick time.
Well, I was saying to you off microphone whether England wouldn't do that. They're not worried about that. Actually, they do like their records. We saw Stokes come out and open the batting and get the fastest 50 for England. So perhaps they do want one of their own to go to the top of the pile. And as you say, even if they left Harry Brook out there for an extra 20 minutes, that could be enough. But what you wouldn't want to be is 20 minutes short of being able to force a victory come the very end and the dying embers of day 5.
Smith swings away leg side. It's another chance for a catch and almost brilliantly taken. We've seen 2 easy chances go down today for Pakistan, but this is hard to fault. This was a superb effort in the deep, rather like Chris Wokes for England in the first innings of this game. Almost pulled off an excellent boundary catch.
Yeah, he's fielded magnificently. Herrera is the 12th man, is the sub there. Didn't know where he was in relation to the boundary, then throwing the ball back into play and just slipping and inches away from another grab. But terrific athleticism. He was indicating, I think, to the captain that he didn't see the ball straight away. Not conceding a fence. Good job.
.297.
Have a look at his feet. So now he knows he's near the fence. Throws it up. Now watch when he tries to turn. Just that slip. It's that initial slip that means he can't get back to take the second part of the catch. It was brilliant work. It was just that little slip. And this outfield now is quite dry and sandy. I think that's why he lost his footing. See how Naseem Shah, when he's running in, he's kicking up dust as he's running to the crease. So the outfield is drying out, which may help England later on with reverse swing. Who knows? We've seen nothing from Pakistan, but certainly the outfield is very sandy now.
Been pretty unlucky, Naseem Shah. Couple of drop chances.
Yeah, the quicker bowlers, I don't think you can fault their effort. There's been nothing in the surface for them. They've kept coming in. They've been hampered by the absence of a Bra today. Some of the fielding has really let them down. But Naseem, Shaheen and Ahmed Jamal have kept coming in. I don't think you can fault their effort and their fitness and their willingness to get into the contest at all. Smith has got a bit of a license here, and he's a dangerous man with a license. 767 for 4, the highest Test match innings now in Pakistan.
And England are not stopping. They'll continue to play like this. A lead of maybe 300 plus. 211 runs they lead by right now. Brook can get a 400 if he continues to bat till the end of the session, maybe.
.768 for 4. Hot afternoon, good time for a cup of tea. So Brook is 298, Jamie Smith is 27 from just 20 balls. All eyes now on the young Yorkshireman Harry Brook.
Oh, yes.
My best guess is he's not going to try and get there with 2 singles. Might be wrong because it's so tantalizingly close. What a moment. Well, Shahan's going to tempt him. The field is now coming in. There's one fielder out on the cover boundary. There's one at deep, straightish mid-wicket. Everyone else is in. Are they saving one?
Yes.
Brook clubs it down the ground, and in the heat and dust of Multan, He becomes only the 6th England batsman to make 300 in Test cricket, joining Hutton, Sandham, Edrich, Hammond and Gooch. He just looks up to the heavens, and it might be a look up to his late grandmother Pauline, who ferried him around as a young man to all the cricket matches, all the training sessions, all the practice sessions at the heart of this fine innings.
Quite a stunning achievement. Forget the pitch. Just look at the achievement again. He just dossed the bat to his teammates. He does not do big celebrations, Harry Brook. That's about as emotional as you'll see him get.
Chipped in the air, and Shaheen wearily comes in from the long off boundary. Brook now to 300. What has he got his sights on? What has Ben Stokes and Ollie Pope and Brendan McCullum in that England dressing room, what have they got their sights on? 800 is around the corner. Len Hutton's record score for England not that far away, but there's a match to win as well. 776 for 4.
Well, he's nailed a few in this innings, and that was perfect timing for the massive, massive milestone. Doesn't do big celebrations, Harry Brook. He's just gone to 300, and it was a simple raise of the helmet, raise of the bat, and a brief hug with his partner Jamie Smith. Ath, do you think he knows who's ahead of him?
They're not a big one, the England dressing room, for the history books. They're quite a big one for records, aren't they? And of course, Len Hutton, Pudsey and Yorkshire. If Harry Brook knows anything about the history of the game, that might be one record that he knows about. Carved away by Jamie Smith behind square.
Right, ignore records. Gooch or Hutton, whoever. We were talking about this at the break. When is the right time for England to declare to try and win this game?
England dressing room must have burned a lot of calories, because after every 5 minutes there've been a milestone. It appears that way if you're a Pakistani watching this. They've been relentless. 100, knock to remember.
Should be the end, and is the end of Jamie Smith, who's come out swinging selflessly. England are well in front of this game now. He had a license to attack. He wasn't going to hang around. He was given a life or two, and in the end hit one catch, or offered one catch too many.
Naseem Shah richly deserving this, even though it was a slog, but he richly deserves wickets. Not a bad innings. 31 of just 24. England with a mammoth 779 for 5 at Drinks.
What an incredible scorecard. 78 for Crawley, 84 for Duckett, Root 262, and Harry Brook, a triple hundred, 305. First triple hundred for England in 34 years. Graham Gooch at Lords all those years ago, 1990 against India. Harry Brook against Pakistan in Multan, 305 at nearly a runner ball. Incredible batting.
Yeah, the Pakistan has been on the receiving end, but has been a treat to watch these English batsmen bat here in Multan International Stadium, and what a knock. Still there.
Chris Wokes, new batter. Still some batting to come. Wokes has a test match 100 at Lords, averaging 26 and a half. Haas has a couple of first class hundreds. Atkinson has a test 100 as well, also at Lords, if they are required. Fair play to Jamie Smith from ball one, really. It was a selfless innings. That's what England are looking for from their players. There was no thinking of knocking it around, getting in. Pretty much from ball one. He saw the situation, the game situation, and that's why he's in with the team. Put your foot down. Try and force this declaration as quickly as possible. Outside edge. Any thoughts on the declaration, David? Just before tea to save 10 minutes?
A bit early.
A bit earlier.
Yeah, somewhere around there. I mean, because of the very obvious conditions, yes, you'll feel you need time. You're going to force a win out of this game, but also because things are moving ahead so rapidly. While they're still moving ahead rapidly, that's also very, very good news. And if ever it slows down, then you might bring things to a halt, but that's basically whether or not Brook continues.
Short boy may just have caught up with it or got a glove on it, but he'll get through for a run. Rizwan does well. 781 for 5.
Highest score in innings in Test match cricket is 952. Any temptation to go past that?
I don't think so. I think Stokes and Pope and McCullum will be sitting there and just debating 225 runs ahead and time. David mentioned the time on this flat pitch that you need to get 10 wickets. They will be pretty much exhausted, especially the top four there. Abrar not here today, he's ill. Nazim has a couple. Deep mid-wicket, can't stop it off. They've just looked a bit ragged in the last hour or so.
Well, it's been a bit of a mix. We've seen one or two maintaining their concentration and stamina. We've seen easy catches go down. This actually, to be fair, is a decent effort. And while admiring the efficiency and brilliance of the batting, I've also been thinking about how long one's ever fielded. All those years ago, how long has one spent in the field? A couple of times we spent two days and a session. One against Pakistan, actually 87 at the Oval. Javed Miander got 260.
It is the pace at which England score their runs that enables them to try and force results. 560 in the first innings of the game, and they are still trying to force a result by scoring so quickly. Look at Brook here, nearly a runner ball. If you go back, put it into context, Graham Gooch in 1990 got 333 in 485 balls, and believe me, Graham Gooch was ahead of his time. He was one of the most dynamic attacking batters of his generation. 485 balls for 333.
Catch it!
Now in the air but doesn't carry.
Yeah, this is incredible, isn't it? To go run a ball in Test match cricket. He's such an enterprising batter.
Catch it!
Down the pitch, chipped mid-on, can't get there. The Wokes will keep the strike. It's 7-9-1 for 5. It's now the highest score by any team against Pakistan in Test match cricket. Occasionally Chris Wokes in the past has got out like that. He's played a lovely clip shot straight to the man in the deep. He did it this summer in a test series at home, and he nearly did it again there.
It'll be fitting for Naseem Shah to pick up a couple of wickets here because bowled his heart out.
Brook just asking how high was that. Umpires looked at each other and said no, that was just about fine. Brook thought it was above head height. Rise again. Naseem just bowling predominantly slower ball cutters into the pitch now.
Well, they're both worth the try, as it were. Where is that ball? Got to be there somewhere. That's quite a dramatic shot, isn't it? Once you freeze it with the feet off the ground.
over the offside. Again, the sweeper has some work to do. Stops the boundary.
I mean, the next thing that strikes one is that whatever the calculations going on in the England dressing room, whatever the pictures being taken to commemorate these events on the Vigo app, these Pakistani fielders, especially the ones in the sort of top 5 or 6 in the order, got to be thinking about how to approach the next task, which is getting heads down, getting in, getting stuck in. 795 for 5. Yeah, the openers in particular, of course, thinking, when are we going to get the call? When do we have to rush off, literally, possibly run off, stick the pads on, stick a head under a cold tap or something, if there is such a thing here, and focus on the art of getting stuck in, battling through long enough to make sure the game is saved.
So Harry Brook has gone past John Edrich, Andy Sandham, Kingston, Jamaica 1930, 325 next on his list, and then Graham Gooch.
Yeah, furthering your point about the openers, do you think it's a good idea to have Sima Yu bowling at this stage?
On the pitch, Wokes fit enough to get back for 2 yet. He's going to have to do the bulk of the running. Harry Brook's gone at the other end. Wokes pushed him.
Well, your question about Sima Yu, while he's bowling, he doesn't have to run around the field.
Catch it!
In the air, top edge, and he goes, Harry Brook. But he has thrilled us with one of the great innings seen on this ground. Utterly brilliant, 100, exhausted, but full of joy. That was quite brilliant. Skill, technique, fitness, concentration. Utterly brilliant. 100 from Brook has ended 317. And he can finally put his feet up for a while.
And the approach towards the batting, incredible. What an effort. A marathon innings of 317 came to an end. It's 797 for 6.
England fans, England players in the dressing room stand to Harry Brook, as with his Yorkshire teammate who just departed with 250 plus. Brook departs with a score over 300, exhausted but thrilled. Wickets to be had when bowling down the order. Top edge sweep. No mistake from Sham Masood. Very few mistakes in that innings. That mammoth innings from Harry Brook.
Well, this innings from Harry Brook puts him up there with the elite. Not just the numbers, but the way he's played, the scoring rates, the ingenuity, the talent on show has been immense.
So, 2